everybody. It's day, actually just 4 more days till St. Patty's Day. And I'm moving on in my life, and I was even able to buy some healthy groceries today because I was one of the 5 winners in the Dough Dash contest. So, but I am motivated to get another little part-time job so that I have money for healthy food. See, I'm a much older single, so, and I can work on all my other stuff, creative stuff, and so, I'm just excited, and I'm ready to be excited, or more excited. I was really inspired by Dough Dash, and her progress, and her having the contest, and just to have that much extra money, to be able to share it and offer prizes, and I just think that's really cool. And I'll even get a little T-shirt, and I'm psyched. It's my life did not turn out at all like I thought, but I'm just growing and changing, and I really have had some breakthroughs in my decluttering, and healing from my childhood trauma and all that in the Angela Shelton group, and I just kind of realized a lot of things, and sometimes we are the ones that hold ourselves back, from getting the right job, or meeting the right person. It's have to be open to God's plan, for our lives. It's not easy, because we can be very stubborn. I'm half German and French, Alsace-Lorraine, and then my dad was 100% Irish, a little bit temperamental and such. So, of course, I was raised in Texas, born and raised in Texas, but my parents were New Yorkers. They were Yankees. But they're great ancestors. Their great-grandparents were from, different places, So, but yeah, we have to just kind of maybe accept that maybe we're, maybe not necessarily you, but it could be. Somebody in our group shared that he wondered if maybe he prolongs his healing or whatever he's going through. There's always going to be that challenge in life, maybe to just maybe get some sympathy or attention. And, most of my life I've been the one that, had difficulties with my dad. That was a whole other thing, and I was just a little kid. It was not my fault. A lot of stuff was going on with him probably, and all the things that, he did. I made a little video this morning with Angela about cleaning up the stuff, and that was kind of fun. I've been writing little songs about it, so that when I clean up, I'm cleaning up my life, cleaning up the mind trash, the mental stuff that you hear, sometimes growing up, and I've done a lot of healing work too, and we have to realize that if our parents said some really horrible things or did horrible things to us, we have to realize that maybe they went through something traumatic, in their childhood, and they just don't want to talk about it. That happens all the time. And but yeah, why? And then I've always been the one that I'm always or in the past I dated a lot more. As you get older, you get more selective, so you don't date as much. But I'm always dating the wrong guy, or are choosing all these competitive and different careers. But that's interesting because I was talking to a lady at the store just now, some older, lady like myself, and about all the different jobs and careers we've had, and she was passing out some samples, and I was thinking, I've been a cashier before too, and I've been in insurance, and all the drill, the substitute teaching and the small newspaper editor reporter, which my degree was in, but I've never made a lot of money, and a lot of that is because I didn't ask for the money. And I was just so happy to have the job. And I always believed that I would meet like Mr. Wonderful someday and not have to work. That never happened to me. I dated. I was engaged. I got married for a short time. Dated more. After the divorce. And that was a whole other story. I always had to work. I was always the one they looked up to, which is really kind of sad. Because I've never made a lot of money. So, if some guy's looking at me like that, then we're in trouble. But I was raised old-fashioned. And I'm a lot older. I'm probably old enough to be this one YouTuber's mom, probably, Russell Hartley. But I love his philosophy or his advice for women. And I see that in my life where a lot of women just have put up with so much all their life from some of these men. And, and it really is basically, I believe, well, we have to find a man that could be like a provider man. Like for me, I'm probably too old to have a baby unless there's some kind of medical miracle or something. Although I could be marry some man as a single parent or something like that and live a long time because my grandmother surely did. So even from today, so I've got to eat healthier and lose weight and do all the right things to do that, A lot of people say if they knew they were going to live this long, they would have taken better care of themselves. I've heard that as an insurance agent and even in the news business, interviewing people and all kinds of jobs when I've, said all the different things I've done. So, but back to the other, I was encouraged by thinking, if I just have a positive attitude, I'll get the right jobs and combination of jobs, doing YouTube, doing, my acting. A lot of people think, why are you even doing the YouTube and acting? You know why? Because it's a lot of fun, first of all. And I feel like it's helpful to people. I feel like there's people out there, and we live in a kind of a lonely universe these days, with the way everything is. And so there are lonely people out there. But you can get out in public if you want to. Last I heard, I haven't checked the news lately. But anyway, so you can just do it, but I do this because it's rewarding, and I feel like it helps me with my personal growth and change too, and helps me become a better version of myself. But I also feel like I'm helping other people, even if I help one person, because now I'm up to 123 subscribers, and it's so cool. And the momentum started, like I said, because I was so inspired by the DoorDash challenge, and she's done a lot of DoorDash too, which I've never done that, but I've thought about doing that too. But she's very motivated. She is younger than me, but I was raised by hard workers in my life, and I've been a hard worker most of my life. As I've gotten older, I have faced age discrimination, I'll be honest with you, and not just in the entertainment industry, in a lot of industries and things. But if you have the hustle and you get out there and you have the right attitude, because everywhere I go, I see people my age and older working still. Let's face it, unless you want to just live on, crackers and nothing, or nothing against crackers or anything, but, or just like an apple if you still have your teeth, or, I'm serious. Things are getting kind of tough. And I think we're going to have to get to a point where it's best to make peace with everybody. Everybody in your life, past, present, future, network with people, because these imposters are still running rampant on the internet. I still get Brad Pitt imposters like crazy, but not just celeb imposters, all kinds of imposters, offering jobs and benefits, all kinds of things. So the more people we know in real life, friends, neighbors, the whole thing, it's very motivating. And So I just wanted to say that, and um, I guess I'm going to go now, but I'm just encouraged by things. It's been tough. This last year has been tough for me. I never thought that I'd be pitching pennies and pulling out, you know, quarters, nickels, and dimes at the Dollar Tree. Today I was able to go to the regular grocery store, which was awesome, where they had fruit and vegetables, and I got me some fruit and vegetables and, you know, a little bit of meat and, you know, just healthy stuff for me and my pets. And it was awesome, and I feel better already just by having a little bit of a healthier lunch. And but back to this other, this thing about having, well, now they call it ADHD and all that, but you can kind of take a lot of alternative things for it, like GABA and all these, natural things that people do take. But a lot of that's because of childhood trauma. It's also creative intelligence and people that are, your brain is wired. Creative people like to multitask and create and think of a lot of different things. But in the group, this one guy did say that he wondered if what he was going through, he's always like has different challenges that maybe he kind of does even prolongs the healing and things like that, because he does get more attention. I've often wondered in life that sometimes I do. I also had a self-esteem issue, which a lot of people have pointed out. It hasn't been easy for me to go to some of these high school and college reunions where everybody's all set in these, nice houses, and they've had big careers with big, incomes. I was raised, pretty good in middle class, but as I've gotten older, like I said, I've had age discrimination. But the biggest thing for me was that I could find a man that was like, that I would fall in love with the right person, I guess, because I have really gone with the ones that were wrong for me, over the years. And I quickly realized it not too far in afterwards. And I may have let some good ones get away, but who doesn't do that? But I was the good one that many, I think, regretted too. But I think it's best to start new with someone you never really knew, or if it's a friend that you develop in a relationship with. But you have to have confidence in yourself to do that. And also, it takes a lot of work. I see a lot of couples that they've got kids and grandkids, and even if it's not their first marriage, it's a lot of give and take. It's a lot of coordinating the personalities and etc. So if you're used to kind of doing things on your own, I am an empath, which means if I'm not careful, I'll pick up other people's energies. I'll pick up if they're in a bad mood, I have to really watch it. I've learned a lot of things now, how to not let these kind of things affect me. But before I kind of studied all this, I would easily let if somebody was in a bad mood, especially like a friend, or if I was in a relationship, affect me too. And whereas if you're on your own, you don't have to worry about that. If you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day, and it's your bad day. But if you wake up and you're in a good mood, like me after winning one of the 5 winners, and that just kind of, I think Doe Dash realizes that she has really helped a lot of people. But so has Angela Shelton, so has Matt Schaefer, and Aaron Dowdy, and all these people. I've taken a number of acting classes too that have all helped me. Some of them I started them. I had to drop out of them because I couldn't continue. And a lot of them were not very expensive at all. Maybe, very small amount each month even. And then people would probably wonder, wow. Well, the bottom line is I've never made a lot of money, but I have taken care of myself and stayed afloat. There have been times when I have had extra money and I've saved, and then times when I've had setbacks. and different things. But I think from now on, I'm going to give myself permission, even though I'm a, kind of like technically retired age. Most people that when they get older, we can't live on especially if we've worked all our lives full time, but we never made a lot of money. Our amount is not going to be a lot, so we're still going to have to supplement that, see. So, unless you want to live out of your car or van, which a lot of people do. You see it on YouTube, they're very happy. And a lot of people live in tents in LA or on the beach or out, wherever. A lot of them are unhappy, and it's very scary. Some even have real jobs. But I have pets to take care of. I don't have children or grandchildren, but I have to do it. And I'm not ready for my life to be set and over either. There is a country western song. I heard it the other day. It's like, I have to look it up later and find the name of it, but, I'm not ready for the rocking chair or whatever. So it's like, I'm not ready for the junk haul or the, whatever. It's the funniest song. But, I think the reason a lot of older people get depressed, I know there's a myriad of things. It's health and, they're lonely, and their kids have disappointed them, or the grandkids have, or the friends, or the family, or the jobs, or the, who knows what it is. The health, the, finances. But when you are not making much money, that affects every